Hey everybody, what's going on? It is James with Crypto Quick Start. I wanted to shoot a video today. It is June the 13th. The market looks like absolute crap. It's looked like absolute crap all year. At this point, I've been in crypto for 13 months and almost half of it has been spent in a bear market, which is actually pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome because you can't learn in a bull market. It's really, really difficult to learn in a bull market because everything is going up. And pretty much no matter what you do, unless you're just completely stupid, you're going to make money. So when the market turned into a bear market, it's given those that are serious about crypto a chance to really step back and say, okay, I want to learn how to trade. Not how to get lucky, not how to have a lottery ticket punched, but how to actually trade. So while it sucks, and it does suck, there's no mistake about it. I mean, it causes me a lot of anxiety. I've lost an enormous amount of money. Fortunately for me, I'm still in the profit. If things keep going like they are, I won't be much longer. I'm getting dangerously close to the break-even point, which is absolutely sickening considering I had enough at one point to completely pay off my mortgage and chose not to do that. All that being said, I want to talk about perspective today. This video isn't going to be about crypto going to the moon or crypto going to zero. It's going to be about perspective. All right. So I'm looking at coinmarketcap.com. I'm looking at a chart of Bitcoin. This is a chart from April 28th, 2013 to June 13th of 2018. And we can obviously see the bubble that occurred in December. Now, you can't deny that this was a bubble at this point. Even while it was happening, a lot of people knew it was a bubble. They were trying to, cash in as much as they could. I think the smart money probably got out up here, and then the second smart money probably got out here on this day cap bounce. But if you were part of the HODL gang, which is the stupidest advice ever, you're still holding your coins. And yes, I'm part of that tribe. I got converted to that tribe in December after saying for 6 months hodling was stupid. I finally, gave in and said, I guess I'm wrong. I guess these people saying the S-curve are right. And so it's cost me a lot of money. But here's the thing. This is obvious, right? When you look at this chart, everybody can see this bubble. They can go look at the psychology of a market cycle and say, well, duh, it's a bubble. It matches up almost exactly. And everybody keeps talking about how this is 2014 all over again. I don't know if it is or not, okay? I tend to believe that it probably is, like 2014. Now, with that being said, I also tend to believe that in 2014, the market was much less mature, and that's why it took 2 years for it to recover. There wasn't a lot of positive developments around cryptocurrency in 2014. So it was only recovering because people believed in it, even when there was no real reason to believe in it. More power to those folks. A lot of them got paid off. But now when you look at cryptocurrency, we have all these major companies that are getting involved in the space. We have companies like Goldman Sachs partnering with Circle to buy Poloniex. We have companies like NASDAQ licensing their technology to Gemini. We have companies like Coinbase, setting up a chain of custody for institutional investors. And just today, they actually opened up their institutional platform to investments of 250,000 and 20 million, and so on and so forth. We have all this positive news. So I do think it's like 2014. I think it's a complete washout. I think it's a bubble popping, but I think that we will recover, and I think we'll recover a lot quicker than what we did in the past. Hopefully, by the fourth quarter this year, we start to see some relief. If not, I'm not a crystal ball reader, but that's my expectation. Regardless of what happens, though, let's talk about this chart. I've said it 3 or 4 times in this video. This is an obvious bubble. Now we're talking about 2014, and it was an obvious bubble. Okay, let's go back and look at the chart. You'll see how obvious this bubble actually was in 2014. Oh, I hate the way the dates work on CoinMarketCap. 15, okay. Okay, so when we look at this chart of 2014, this was obviously a bubble as well. So here we are, we're in October, November, look at this, December, or right here it's December. We take this run up in 2013 and boom, it crashes and goes down, 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 down. Goes from around $1,300 all the way down to just shy of 200 at one point. It's obvious, okay? No one's going to argue about that. So let's zoom back out. Where did it go? Where in the heck did that bubble just go? That obvious bubble. Oh, here it is. Do you see this? This is the bubble. This is the bubble of 2013/14. The big giant bubble, and it's just a tiny little blip on this map. It's a tiny little blip on this chart. You have certain people in this space who are much more educated than you and I, who are much more invested than you or I. You know, if we put in, as an average person, if we put in $10,000 or $50,000 or $100,000, that's an enormous investment. You have people out there who have hundreds of millions of dollars invested, either in cryptocurrency directly or in the infrastructure for cryptocurrency. And some of these guys are saying things like it's going to $250,000 a coin. Some of these guys are saying it's going to $25,000 a coin. Some of them are saying, you know, $400,000 a coin. Just recently, I saw an interview on Bloomberg where the guy said that he felt like the market cap would eventually reach $20 trillion. Okay? If the market cap hits $20 trillion, that's roughly 75 to 80x of what it is today. Which means if you were to zoom out, you know, 4 years from now, because obviously 2014 and 2018 is 4 years. 4 years from now, this giant bubble that is huge in our mind right now, it very well may look like this bubble right here. It may be that in 4 or 5 years, Bitcoin really is worth $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000, etc. And people will look back and be like, oh, that bubble was just a tiny little blip on the map. Now, it also could go to zero, okay? There is absolutely the very real possibility it could go to zero. I don't believe that's going to happen. All right. And if I was an investor back in 2013 when that bubble popped, I absolutely would have believed it was going to happen. And I absolutely would have cashed out my coins and taken a loss on them if need be. Because again, there was nothing positive happening in this space. Nowadays, we have companies coming into this space at an enormous rate. We have big time CEOs and big time, you know, market leaders leaving their companies, their traditional companies, to form cryptocurrency startups or to join cryptocurrency startups. I think we are just now starting to lay the infrastructure that's going to be needed to really see where blockchain technology and cryptocurrency will end up at. And I don't think that's going to happen in 2018. I don't think we're going to 100,000 in 2018. I don't think we're going to 100,000 in 2019. And I seriously doubt we're going to 100,000 in 2020. I hope I'm wrong because I'm holding a bunch of coins and it would be wonderful to retire before the age of 40. I think it's probably much more likely that we're looking at a 5 to 10 year timeline of this. And if that bothers you, if that upsets you, you're probably, without even realizing it maybe, you probably have a get rich quick mindset. All right. It's very easy to have that mindset when we saw gains of 700, 800, 900, 1,000% gains in a 6-month period. It's easy to get complacent and say this is the norm. It's not the norm. It was a parabolic blow off top, and it wasn't a blow off top for 3 months like people think it was. This was a parabolic market for a very long time, starting way back here, right? Starting way back in the beginning of 2017, the entire year was parabolic. So I don't think we're going to see that again. I don't think we're going to see a market where you can just throw money at any shitcoin and suddenly get a 50x return. Like, for example, last year I put $500 in the Verge, and at one point it was worth 30 grand, right? That was a lottery ticket. That's what that was. So I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of those anymore. I think as regulation comes in, we're going to see a more mature market. But I do believe in a long-term market, and I'm just holding my coins. For those of you that are wondering, I'm not buying more. All right. I know a lot of people are out there doing the cheerleader thing. Buy the dip. Listen, I've been buying the dips. That's the problem. I did cash out a lot of my coins back in December. I was up literally 1,000%. And I bought this dip. And then it went back up and I was like, wow, I'm a hero. And then I bought this dip and it went back up and I was like, okay, I'm a hero. And I bought this dip and it went back up and I thought I was a hero. I've bought so many dips this year that I went from having literally nothing invested in crypto. I was playing with 100% profits to having an enormous amount, way more than I probably should have invested in cryptocurrency. But at this point, I'm stuck. I can't get it out without taking a loss. Because on the investment I made just this year, not counting my total portfolio, but just on the investments I made this year, I'm down $42,000. Okay, I'm down well over 6 figures on the entire portfolio from, you know, the highs. But just my actual money, like the money that I put into the market, I'm down $42,000. So there's no way that I can cash that out at a $42,000 loss. Fortunately, God forbid, if worst case happens, it goes to zero. It won't bankrupt me. It'll hurt like hell. It'll set me back a couple of years. But that's the commitment that I made when I put it in, was I was either going to ride that to zero or I was going to ride it up. And I still think it's going up, so I'm not cashing out. Some people have asked me, what would it take to get you to cash out? I just don't think anything would make me cash out. I really don't. Maybe some unforeseen event could get me to get off my coins. But at this point, being down as big as I am, I would much rather ride that to zero, barring any unforeseen circumstances, versus cashing out right now, watching it drop to 4,000 or 3,000 and then go up to 20 grand. And that's a mistake that I made in September of last year. I cashed half my portfolio out so that I could, quote unquote, play with just profits. And I cashed my portfolio out when Bitcoin was worth $4,200, half of it. So by December, the coins that I cashed out, they would have increased in value by over $300,000. That is something that, I can't put into words how devastating that actually was. So yeah, I'm not cashing out now. There's very little that can make me even consider cashing out. I think personally, if we're looking at a market cycle, I do think that we've reached the anger phase. I think people are pissed. I think they're seeing all the good news and they're like, why is it still dropping? This is market manipulation. This is this and this is this. We're seeing all the news outlets come out with stories trying to justify the drop. I don't think the drop is justified. I think the drop is just the market cycle playing itself out. And I think it's a really big case of manipulation where people are pushing this as low as they can. Here's my conspiracy theory. If you want institutional investors to come into this space, and I said this a week ago before it dropped as bad as it did, if you want institutional investors to come into this space, you do whatever it takes to get the price low to attract those investors. And if you're an institutional investor and you want to invest $100 million or $50 million, you don't do it on a whim. You don't do it on a, this seems like a good price to me. You do it when everybody is on the verge of committing suicide. Okay? And I know that's crude, but that's the reality of it. You wait until the market is hurting so badly that you start seeing the suicides in the news. Okay? That's when that institutional money is going to be interested. That's when they're going to feel like, hey, we finally found the bottom, and that's where they're going to want to put their money in at. I don't think we're there yet. All right? That's just being very, very realistic. I think it's very possible that we have some more bleeding to do. Now, I don't think we're going to bleed out everything. I've seen people talk about $1,000 and $2,000 and $3,000. I don't buy into those theories. I do buy into the $5,800 level. I think that that's a very valid level. And, if we lose that, then, yeah, it's game on. Maybe we drop all the way down to 4,000, and I hope not. But, at this point, if you haven't cashed out by now, I don't know what you do. I don't know at this point what you should do. But I know what I'm doing. I'm just waiting. And in the meantime, crypto is not life, okay? There's other things that you can be focusing on. My business is completely centered on cryptocurrency. So when this market fell, not only did I lose a lot of my portfolio value, but obviously interest in trading software is way, way down, right? My income last month on my trading software was 1% of what it was in January, literally 99% drop. My membership site where people are trading, obviously a lot of people have got burnt out, so my membership is down 70% over the last 6 months. My new software, which is an alert software, I expected to do really well with. The interest has just not been there near as much as I expected. So I'm feeling it on all fronts. Even with all that being said, it hasn't changed my view of cryptocurrency. What I've done is I've spent my time building more software. I have my developer working on our trading bot. I have my developer working on improving our alert software. And then me and my personal time, I've taken this opportunity to learn more about trading and also to teach myself how to code, right? So don't sit and waste your life staring at these charts. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Still go out there and enjoy your life and still go out there and make a living, right? If you made the mistake of quitting your job to trade or something because you thought you were a trader and you found out you're not, that sucks. But if you got to go flip burgers at Burger King, go flip burgers, right? Don't sit and, you know, think that Bitcoin is going to bail you out someday, because there's no guarantees. All right. This video is long. I shot one like it last week, never posted it because it was so long. I'll post this one up. Let me know what you think. Obviously, I am not a financial advisor. I'm some guy sitting in a spare bedroom. You should always seek professional investment advice from a professional investment advisor before making any type of investment. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already a member of the Facebook group, feel free to come hang out with myself and 3,700 other cryptocurrency enthusiasts. There will be a link in the description. And don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts on the current market.